Hiya, in this video I'm going to make over this table. It's not a full DIY, it's just showing you roughly what I did to give it a little makeover. So I've got this box frame. I'm basically going to shove this in the middle of the table. So I'm going to place it where I want and then draw around it and cut out the middle of the table. I really should have measured it if I wanted it right in the middle, but I just eyeballed it. So I'm just going to draw around this, the base of it, to make a hole. So I'm going to stick this in. Now this table isn't like an expensive table or anything. It's actually not like a full set of wood. It's like a thin bit of wood, and I think there's like card in the middle, and then there's more wood at the bottom. So it's not unfancy, so it's really easy to customize. So I'll cut this out. You'd need a jigsaw for that. So it does require some tools, and it's got this cardboard stuff in, which you can just rip out. It's stuck to the bottom. So you just have to move it around, rip it out. You don't want to rip it all out because it keeps the rest of the table nice and sturdy. So you just want to rip out all the bit that the hole is in, and then you want to get all that dust and everything that's in the middle, get all that out, and then we're ready to paint it. So you can paint it or colour it in, or cover it in vinyl or whatever you want to do for that point. I'm going to put some these micro LED lights in it, and to do that I've cut out these pieces of card. They're the same width as the sides of my frame, and I'm basically going to put 5 lights around each side. So everywhere where I want a light, I've put 2 holes, and I'm going to thread these through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lights, thread it through one hole. As you can see, there's 2 holes right next to each other. So then I'm going to put the wire back through the hole that's next to it. Then this will hold each little bulb in place, so they're evenly spaced out. It's just a lot easier to do it this way, I think, than to try and stick the lights to the frame. I want them kept in place, and I want them around the outside of the frame, or the inside of the frame, but around the edge of the frame. And I just do the same with all the bulbs. So this is what I will be doing. I'm just showing you this so you can actually see what I'm doing. I'll be doing it while it's attached to the table. So I'm going to then drill a hole in the corner, going right through to the bottom, because the battery pack for these lights are actually going to be on the leg of the table. So I'm just going to make a hole so it's big enough for the lights to actually go through it. And then that's the last drilling bit that you need to do. I'll just use a little hand drill thing there. So to attach the battery pack to the leg, I'm actually just using some hook and loop fasteners, Velcro. It's just self-adhesive ones. So I put a bit of that on the back of the battery pack, and then the other side on the leg of the table. And that should stick nice and firmly. Then I'm going to take the lights and thread them up through that hole I just made. So I'm going to thread them all the way up. Then I'm going to start attaching these lights to those bits of card that I'd made before. So I've got 4 of these bits of card, 1 for each side. I'm going to pull it all the way down so I'm on the first light bulb, or the one nearest to the battery pack, which in this one didn't actually work because the wire from the battery pack to the first light weren't quite long enough. So I can only use 19 lights in this one, and it really bugs me how there's 1 light missing. Whereas I've got a different battery pack, what I used for another table that I made, which I'll put up a picture in a minute, and that worked fine. It had actually a long wire from the battery pack to the first light, so there was no problem with that one, but this one, for some reason, the first light was right near the battery pack. So I'm going to thread the bulbs in and out of this card, and there will be some wire left over at the back. You can just twist that and fold it down so it's out of the way. I decided to put the lights on while I was doing this so you can actually see what I'm doing a little bit better. So once you've done that first one, you then go on to the next card. Like I said, I made 4 of these cards, so each side of the frame they'll fit in. Then you want to take that all the way down to the next light, and just carry on until you've done all the cards. This is a little bit fiddly. Like I say, when you've got that excess wire at the back, you just have to fold it down as flat as possible. Then we want to carefully stick this into the frame. So you want to do one side at a time. And as soon as you start doing this, the frame is then attached, obviously, to the battery pack and everything, so you've only got a small room to play with. So this is why this was a bit awkward. I couldn't actually move the frame anywhere without pulling the battery pack out. I'm just going to stick these one on each side of the frame. And then you can put whatever you want in the middle of this. You can put pictures or anything. I've just literally put a bit of card with a couple of roses on it, and I did actually add a couple of bits of things afterwards. And then you can just pop the frame in. And this is the coffee table I did before. I actually put a piece of glass. I etched a Monopoly table onto it, inside it. And the good thing about this as well, you can always pop out the frame and change it, what's inside, if you like. So you can change it with the seasons. And that's done. I've done it. It's finished. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!